All right. So, at least the final video for tonight. We're gonna set up changing scenes and also how to keep objects persistent between the scenes through. We'll create a singleton, which is a design pattern. And so, what we're gonna do is we're going to make sure you've got your sample scene saved. And then go to the scenes folder, and we're going to right click and create a new scene over here. And we'll do scene, and we're going to call the new scene level 2, just in case for those of you that want to either do additional levels or something like that. We've got this at the level. We're going to double click to open up that level. We're going to create a plane. We'll make it 5 by 1 by 5. Just give it some space. And you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to in our prefabs, we're going to put in our robot. Over here. But we're going to, just to make it different, let's just make it huge. 4 by 4 by 4. Make him a big boy. So that is fine. I'm going to turn off its nav mesh agent. That's fine. We can actually, to our plane, let's just add a nav mesh surface. That's fine. Let's bake it. That should be great. And what we want to do here, the other thing we want is we're going to create an empty, and we're going to call this start position. And let's move that start position way over here. That's fine. And we're going to, I think I think 1 is fine. We'll have to check. And so we'll want that. And then we're going to do we're going to create a script. Create mono behavior script. Start new level. And we're going to with this, we're going to private game object player, lowercase player, and we're going to say player equals type game object dot find player, and then we're going to say player dot transform position equals, oops, and then we want, let's add a serialized field. Glad it so knew what I wanted. Private transform start equals start dot position. We don't need an update. This is just going to implement things on this new level. So we just need that. So we're going to save that. Come back here. We're going to just on our start position add our start new level script, and then attach that there. Okay, we've got this set up, right? So we can hit play. It's going to bitch about not knowing where the player is. That's fine. What we just are mostly curious about up here is that robot moving? It's not, because it doesn't have destinations. So let's fix that. It doesn't have an enemy target. I've got 4. Let's do create empty. Let's do one there. Robot destination. Let's duplicate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can add that to our robot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's fine. Respawn location will be, we'll say it's DS1. Game controller, I think that's okay. Bullet, we'll want prefab bullet. Enemy target is going to be player, and it'll be fine. Let's just make sure it's moving around at this point. Of course, it does not see the player, so it is going to we don't need it working. I just want to transfer it. It's fine. I don't want to make this video longer. It is. So it's there. It's not the end of the world. We're going to actually delete the main camera. It's okay. Don't worry. We're going to add that back in. Okay. So we're going to save this, and we're going to go back to our scenes. We're going to go to sample scene because that's our starting scene. And we're going to now create a script. And this is going to be our singleton. And we're going to call this, let's call this persistent geo for game object. And let that do its thinking. Open it up. And so what we're going to want to do is remove both of these. And we're going to void awake. So when this wakes up, we need it to do something. So if we're going to, we need to create a public static persistent game object is going to be called an instance. And so if instance is null, we're going to say that instance equals this, and don't destroy on load this dot game object. So this is going to make it so that this does not go away when we change scenes. Otherwise, and so this is where it becomes a singleton. We want to make sure that if we went from level 2 back to level 1, where the player already exists, so we're going to put this on our player, we're going to put this on a few other things. If that object already exists, then we're going to destroy this one and go with the other one that's already there. And so else destroy this game object. We're going to do this for now. This is going to make that good. So that works. Cool. Let's save it. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to go back here, and we're going to, on our player, we're going to add the persistent game object. We're going to also add it to our game controller. Should work. Our data controller. We don't need any of that. So player has got it. Game controller. Data controller. That should be enough. And so now we need to build in a way to change levels. Normally this would be something where you would get to the end of the level or trigger something to do that. We're just going to connect it through to a key press for right now. We could hook it up to something else, but for right now, that should be easy enough to just show how you do it, and then connecting it through just like we did with our healing cylinder here, right? We could make this instead of a healing portal. Actually, let's just do that. Let's make another cylinder. We're going to duplicate this. And I'm going to move it. We're just move it over here. But I want it to, instead of red, we're in materials, healing portal. We're going to do, we'll just duplicate this, and we'll call this transfer portal. And we're going to make it green, because why not? And we're going to add that. do, we'll just make this passive scanner on that. Oh, it's just green anyway. Okay. So that will do that, and then we're going to, instead of our healing portal script, we'll remove that. Remove component, script, create mono behavior, change scene. Wait for that to load. Open that up. All right, so what we need to do, we need to add a using. So we're going to do using Unity engine dot scene management, right? We need to manage our scenes. And so then we're going to, in here, we're going to use just like we did in our healing portal, right? So we're going to do the same thing. We might as well just actually do this. We're going to copy our trigger enter, Y type it over again. That should be fine. We don't need any of those, I believe. We don't need to save that comment either. All right, and so then if it's the player, we're not going to do this though. We're going to do scene manager dot load scene, and we're going to then use the name of our scene, which I believe was level 2. We'll double check that in a second, and save. And if we click on scene, that is what it's called. If you don't trust yourself like you usually don't on my spelling, you can just copy and paste it in here, which I typed it in right, which is amazing. And so if we go there, and now if we, as we had on our healing one, we just go ahead and add our change scene script here. Let's see what happens. Player. I've got a main camera. I know I have a main camera. It's deleting our things because they were there. Data controller has made it through. That's great. But why are our other ones? Let's go back here for the moment. Let's not worry about destroying it on load. Let's not worry about duplicates. We're not going to come back into that. Let's see what happens. We're going to always put in, when I'm making a big comment outs, I always put in the ending one first so that it doesn't just change everything green. So if we do that, that should, let's see what happens. Okay, that's better. All right. And then, oops, let's rotate. I really need to change the camera control. We bump into that. Ah, okay. Hold on. Get my mouse back over here. Stop. In our console, it says scene level 2 cannot be loaded because it has not been added to the active build profile. So, what we need to do is we need to go into File, Build Profile, and then what? Oops, we need to actually first go into level 2, and then we go to File, Build Profiles, and then we're going to add open scene to it. You can then actually just call your levels or your scenes by the numbers, but we're good with that. That should do it. Let's just make sure. Go back to build profiles. We've got our 2. We should be good. Just kidding. I've never actually ended up over here. Interesting. Usually just adds it to it without making any changes like this, but hey, we're good. That should work. Where should we get there? We've got it in there. Let's see what happens now. We want to go back to our sample scene because that's where we need to start. We'll hit play. We're going to attempt to hit play. All right, let me rotate around. Now when I hit it, my player is not transforming. You can see we are in the right scene. Which is complaining because the player did not make it through. That's fine. Player should be persistent. Let's just take it off of these other ones for the moment. Data controller. Player should stay persistent. Okay, let's see what happens. There we go. We're a little low, that's fine. But we have now officially made it into this next level. And now we could go back and forth. Not sure why it was not liking the multiple do not destroy unloads, but it was not liking that. So what that just means that you can always do is store most of that information on the player. So just be able to have that one piece that goes back and forth. And so now that's going to push it. At this point, we could end up having take the modifier robot so that it just automatically pulls the player so that it's got all that information in there if we wanted to get this scene up and running. But that's going to be what's going to allow you to move that player along. And once again, like I said, you could then store any data that needs to go between levels on the player rather than in different code, but you could still then use those different pieces that you know, like data saving and stuff like that. You could just build those into level 2, and then it's just going to grab data from a different spot. That's easy enough to fix. We didn't set that up from the beginning, but that's okay. This is really just showing the different aspects of what we're doing. And so now we've got a game that easily can have multiple levels. You could bounce back and forth between the levels. And so, yeah, this, I want to try one thing actually. I'm going to, out of curiosity, see if this now fixes the problem now that we just have it on one item. If that's going to solve this do not destroy unload issue with this first scene, or if it's still going to cause a problem. No, that's all we needed to do. And so we still have the do not destroy unload the player, but we're only having that one player. So now we don't have to worry about that as we go through. So that is changing scenes and saving, making sure that certain things and pieces of information carry over correctly. So that's going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next one.